Jen.
Hi, Em.
And hi, everyone. Welcome back to ShrinkChicks. So today we're going to dive into a topic that hits home for so many of us, self-esteem and self-confidence. Why do we struggle with it, and how do we build it? And why does it sometimes feel like a game of emotional Jenga? One wrong move and it all topples down. We got so many listener questions about this, ranging from childhood roots to dating, to parenting to body image, to living with chronic pain or herpes while still feeling worthy of love. And so if you've ever thought, why can't I just believe in myself already? You are not alone. And today we're going to pack it all together. But before we get there, we're going to ask our intro question. What would your younger self be most surprised to know about your current life?
I mean, I have like the same thing I say to everything.
Your younger self was depressed as fuck. You don't think that your younger self would know
that I'm happy.
You're happy. Would your younger self ever thought you would talk in a podcast to thousands and thousands of people?
That was what I was going to say.
Right.
Never. Literally never. My younger self would be like, why would you do that? And I would say to my younger self, I'm not sure.
Mine, well, considering I was told I was infertile my whole life, probably shocked that I have 2 children.
Right. But did you know as your younger self?
I was told that I had a lot of cysts and issues starting at 16.
Right.
I would call that a younger self. Okay, Let me think of a different one. Probably just of how happy I am.
Yeah.
I really felt like I had a very lonely adolescence.
Yeah.
I felt very different. I had a ton of body image issues. My eating disorder started very early. So I think that my younger self wouldn't believe that I was in a bigger body and fine with it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a trend going around on ChatGPT. You know the best.
ChatGPT has trends?
No, I'll explain it to you.
Wait.
Where you can put in, make a picture of myself hugging my younger self. Maybe we should do that for this episode.
That's so nice.
Isn't that nice? I know.
And what, you have to upload pictures of yourself? Or just ChatGPT already know what your image is?
I mean, that's a great question. You have to upload pictures of yourself.
You include it. Yeah, I heard that you can make a lot of good coloring pages through ChatGPT. Will you make some for my kids?
Sure.
Right?
I don't even think you need ChatGPT. You can use Canva.
Well, you told me you were going to make me a tattoo for my dog, and you never did.
Listen, I'm a little busy.
Nah. This feels
Actually, I did try.
And it was too hard.
It was giving me shit, and then I was just like, I have other things to do. Sorry.
It feels like a priority, but...
You are getting reactions to your tattoos, so
I am having a
I think we got to talk about that.
Tattoos.
You said now her body is like, you're a mom.
Get these off of me.
Don't have tattoos.
I have like bumps underneath my ink, which apparently means somebody messed something up, or I'm pretty sure my body's rejecting it. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right, let's get to it. How to know the root cause of the lack of self-esteem. Hard to say what the root is, but we can start to look at moments from our childhood where we did not feel worthy. Yeah. So if you take a moment to close your eyes and think back and think, when was the first time I felt different in my body? Or when was the first time I didn't feel smart as other people? Or where was the first time that I thought I was calling myself something negative or negative self-talk? Right? Start to look back and say, where did that come from? From a really early age, I struggled academically and my brother excelled academically. And I always felt dumb. I always felt like I am never going to be smart. I'm never going to be academic. You have a really smart brother too, right?
I had the
Is this your same experience?
Yeah. Because my brother was like in enrichment. Like he would get pulled out of classes.
Gifted kids, not me.
Yeah, not me either. But also we've talked about this in like our ADHD episode. Like I had I had ADD.
Yeah.
And obviously it wasn't diagnosed, but I was so disorganized. I could not get it together, and I just felt like I couldn't, no one helped me. So I didn't mean to steal your story,
No.
but I had a similar experience.
But it is, right? And so my brother was getting pulled in enrichment while I was going to the learning support classroom. And I was very lucky. I was getting help, but it also felt very shameful to get pulled from class and felt different. That being said, wouldn't change it for anything. If your child has the ability to get free support, let them get free support included in school. But it starts from these really early moments.
Yeah.
Right? When I start feeling, and you know what, that's so sad about childhood now is especially in our school systems, it's like you're either ahead or you're behind.
Right.
Can't these kids just be fucking kids?
Right.
Playing some dirt?
Well, I mean, yeah.
You know, but like
They
that, like
can.
right. But like, I think then, as parents, or so many of us, we also feel the competition.
So, yeah, listen, on one end, I'm like, okay, yeah, like that fucks you up a little bit. But like, then how did we work past it? You know what I mean? You and I now
Yeah,
work so hard.
yeah.
And
Well, I was never not a hard worker.
Right.
It just took a lot of time for me, right?
same.
So
So-
I think because of that,
Yeah.
we work harder in a very different way.
Right. So there was parts of it, I
Yes.
think, too, that have helped us.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the question is
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, there's stuff that starts in childhood. And I think what matters is the meaning that you make of it.
I also think what you get praised for
Yeah.
from your parents really impacts it, right?
Yeah.
So my brother was really praised for academics and sports.
Yeah.
And I was really praised for like relationships and caring.
Yeah.
And I do not in any way believe that was intentional by my parents.
Yeah.
But what we praise in people, we really internalize as well. I
Mhm.
had a client one time, you know, many, many years ago that would talk about that her mom would pick her up from dance every week. And her mom would say, did you try your best today? Beautiful thing to ask your child, right? Did you try your best? This person interpreted that as, I don't know, did I? Was it not good enough? Was it my best? The mom had no intention of that.
Right.
The mom was trying to put no pressure on. But the intent, right, and the impact were two very different things. The impact of the child was that I overthink and get anxious around it.
That's really interesting. 'Cause
Right.
My parents would actually say to me, as long as you tried your best.
And how did that feel to you?
I would be like, I probably didn't try my best.
That's what this word.
So like,
She said she actually felt a lot of anxiety over this.
I don't know if I felt anxiety, but I was kind of just like, I don't think I did. I
Yeah.
kind of bullshitted my way through that.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, there's also Erik Erikson's stage of development,
yeah,
right? Of like who I am. You're trying to figure out individually, autonomy. You should look up all these stages. But we're trying to figure shit out as we go.
yeah,
But what can happen in these stages of childhood and adolescence can impact or help our self-esteem,
yeah,
right? So let's say I am struggling in math class and my parents are worried about me because I'm putting so much stress. So they say, don't worry about math. Don't do anything, right? And then I just sort of pretend like it's not there.
mm-hmm.
Mastery builds self-esteem. So instead, what could be helpful as a parent is to say, you're feeling really overwhelmed with math right now. Let's go outside and take a walk, and then we'll sit down together with your homework.
Yeah,
Right? And then eventually you accomplish that math and you do it. It feels good to do well on something. It doesn't have to be academics. Teach your kids to cook, teach them to ride a bike, teach them to have, whatever fucking skills. It doesn't matter. Mastery leads to self-esteem.
I also think when you ask yourself this question of where did this start? Let's say you had a parent who was saying things to you that really struck your self-esteem. And it was likely because your parent felt that way about themselves.
Yeah.
Someone said that to them. It gets passed down through this multi-generational transmission process. And so, I think as a child, you're unable to say to yourself, oh, my parents saying that because they really feel that way about themselves.
Yeah.
You internalize that as that's me. That is who
Yeah.
I am. We look to our parents to understand who we are as children. And as an adult, when you look back at the things that you were told about yourself as a child, you can say now, okay, wait, was that really about me?
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, I've mentioned this before. My dad would often say, oh, you're too sensitive. You're too sensitive. When I look back on that as an adult, what I understand is that my dad did not have the capability of listening or feeling his own feelings.
Yeah.
And how he dealt with his own emotions was to say, oh, you're too sensitive, push them down. And so when mine came up, that is the way that he managed my emotions. So I grew up feeling I'm too sensitive. I have too many emotions. As an adult, I'm able to question that. who am I? It's okay for me to have emotions, right? And I can say, okay, wait, that wasn't really about me. That was really about my parents and their struggles to feel their own emotions.
Yeah. So can you talk about the relationship between self-trust and self-confidence?
So
how would you define self-trust?
So self-trust is keeping promises to yourself.
And then how would you define self-confidence?
Self-confidence is the belief that you can handle what comes, but they're intertwined.
Oh, shit. The complexity.
They're intertwined because if you're keeping promises to yourself, you start to build this trust in yourself, and confidence in I will be able to handle what comes because I know that when I keep a promise to myself, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? When something comes up, I'm going to be able to handle it. I have built this trust within myself over time that has led to me having self-confidence.
Okay. So we start with small commitments.
Right.
Right. So what's your small commitment you're keeping to yourself right now? You've been cooking.
I did it twice last week.
Oh, it's been over since then. You were so proud last week, Jen.
I was down the shore and then
when I talked to you, how good did you feel?
So good. And listen, I'm going to get back to it. I trust that I'm going to get back to it.
Okay.
I know that the reason why I was off of it because my schedule was off.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is the reason.
But you know that felt good to you.
Yes.
You trusted you go back to it. You trusted that was the best decision for you.
And I trusted that I said that this was something I was going to do and I did it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to do it. And I know that I'm going to continue to do it. I think too, right? So I'm able to look at, okay, I didn't do it Monday, Tuesday because my schedule was off, right? I had Rosh Hashanah last night, right? There's things that were coming up. Instead of me being hard on myself, which I think so often happens, where you're like, oh, I made this promise to myself, but I stopped doing it and I'm such a failure. And right, it's easy to be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
When I am able to say, okay, yeah, my schedule was off, and I'm going to get back to it. It doesn't break my trust within myself. I know that it's something I'm going to get back into. I think when we start being hard on ourselves, we start, shame comes up and it keeps us from being motivated. Being hard on ourselves actually does not create motivation like people think it does. They think, oh, if I'm hard on myself, then I'm going to do this more.
Yeah.
That does not happen. Being compassionate towards yourself actually gives you more motivation. So I'm able to give myself the compassion to say, oh, my schedule was off. There's reasons why I didn't do this. And I know that I'm going to get back at it.
So self-trust is the foundation and self-confidence is like the house we build on top of it.
Beautiful. House metaphor.
We love a house metaphor.
Do you have any things that you're keeping? Any ways that you're learning to trust yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I have a 3-month-old, so I'm really just trying to sleep at night.
That's a thing. That you have. That's something you have no control over.
So I will say exercise. So I'm someone who's exercised almost every day for the past 2 years. I'm very into my workout, but right now I am not.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is about breastfeeding and the pain. I have an oversupply.
Yeah.
And I'm in pain pretty much all the time. And so working out does not feel very good right now. And I'm just not motivated to go. And I did end up going to a hot yoga class this week, and that actually felt better on my body to really stretch and get deep within it. But I'm like, you want to know what? It's just not going to be right now. Right now is walking and yoga, and I will have to get back to strength later, but my tits hurt so bad I will die.
Yeah.
But there is trust in that. But if I had stopped earlier into my workout experience of being really dedicated, I don't think I would have trusted myself. But now I'm like, you want to know what? You did it every damn day for 2 years. I think you'll be fine.
You built up that trust over time.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
And it doesn't mean it didn't come without times where you're like, I don't want to do this. And you take, you know what I mean? I think people are like,
we talked about that before.
Yeah.
I don't believe, when it comes to working out, I don't believe motivation's a thing. It's just ritual.
Oof.
Maybe that's because I have zero motivation.
Same.
There's never a day that I'm like, you want to know what I'd love today? But the ritual of it's very important to me. And I know that I always feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
How to rewrite the beliefs you were taught about yourself as a child. Harriet Lerner has a really good saying about this, which is I kind of hate this because it's female blaming, but just go with me. Harriet Lerner says, it's something like, often our inside voice, our inner voice is often our mother's voice before it's our own.
Ooh.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
So we have to rewrite that.
Yeah. It's similar to what we were talking about earlier, that the way that we develop that inner voice is from our parents. They pass down ideas about themselves onto us, right? And so we take that on as our own.
Yeah.
And so that cognitive restructuring we can do of questioning our own automatic thoughts about who we are, and to be able to say, well, is that really me?
Yeah.
Is that something I believe in? And I think as you get older, you have the opportunity to do that as you differentiate from your parents, as you start to understand yourself as a separate being and with separate beliefs and thoughts and feelings. And, I think that's one of the reasons to understand what the root cause is.
Yeah.
Not because it automatically changes anything, because it allows you to separate the messaging from the idea of who you are.
The beliefs that we inherit are not life sentences.
Right.
They're a story and a draft that we get to rewrite and edit over and over again. And if you are someone who really struggles with this rewrite, narrative therapy might be a really good option for you. But a really great activity B is write out the chapters of my life and the beliefs that came with that. Right? So for me, early childhood or early academics would be, I'm dumb. Right? I don't believe that now. Right. That is not at all part of how I feel. I do believe I'm not I could never be like a chemist. Like science, I would not say is my strong suits.
Watching a few chapters, she ends up being a chemist.
And when I am very nervous for my child to start getting into higher science, because I'm going to be like, fuck me, I don't remember any of this. But right now in my life, I would never call myself dumb.
Right.
But I believe that for a very long time. And it impacts you. It impacts what you think you're capable of doing. If children understand they really are capable of doing anything, it might just look different. And there's all these different ways to be smart. That makes a really big difference. My way to be smart wasn't seen on a test.
They really should test like emotional intelligence in school.
I wonder if they're starting to.
They really should, because I would have
crushed that shit, baby.
I would have felt real smart.
Yeah. But not in math. I was like, meh.
Same.
Please excuse my dear aunt. Who? That would be me.
Who?
Remember that?
that?
Please excuse my dear aunt Sally. Parentheses.
Oh, it's like the order of operations.
Order of operations. You know what I mean?
We are smart. Math. Math.
All right. So when Millie gets really into science, you can come over. Are you busy that day?
I was okay with science.
Yeah. Not me.
Math, no good.
Okay. Being bullied as a kid still haunts me at age 39. How do I build confidence now?
Okay, the first thing I want to say is how common this is.
Yeah. Trauma sticks.
Trauma sticks, and like trauma in your early friendship sticks.
Yeah.
I hear people all the time kind of discounting their experience, whether it's being bullied or left out, or it sticks with you.
Yeah.
And because a lot of your adult relationships, like your friendships are a really big part of your life, that and can be really hard to build those relationships in adulthood, that because of that trauma, it carries with you when you're trying to make these new relationships. So I just wanted to first normalize it.
Yeah. Well, it's relational trauma. So somebody is going to hear this and think, that's not real trauma. It's not real trauma. But it's relational trauma. It's just the way a parent's divorce can be relational trauma. You know what I mean? Like any of these things, relational trauma is very real trauma. And if you are still thinking about it 30 years later, I'm going to call it fucking trauma. Listen, you have to go to therapy. You have to do a lot of work around this, but you also might need trauma treatment. You might need an EMDR. You might need a ketamine-assisted therapy. Like, I think we have, shame around like, oh, is childhood bullying? What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is it gives you long-term lasting scars.
Yeah. The brain encodes social rejection as danger.
Mm.
So, and if you think about trauma, right, that sticks with you, you felt this danger from an early age, right? And so now, let's say you were left out in a situation. And so now your brain is saying, oh no, you're going to be left out again, like danger. you need to protect yourself. You need to not reach out to people or whatever it is. So I guess the question is, how right now are you reacting to that trauma? And what is that doing? Is it keeping you more isolated? Because sometimes we tend to do that. If our brain is saying, this is danger, like I'm going to stay away from people. I'm not going to try to form new relationships.
Well, so I guess one of the ways that we can start to build that self-confidence would be through present evidence, right?
Yes.
I survived this and I have relationships now.
Right.
And if you were asking this question at 39 years old, the bully did not win.
Yes.
Because you were doing hard work around it and not just minimizing it.
That bully was probably bullied.
Yeah, but do we have to give that person?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not saying like it was fine for the bully to be a bully.
Listen, the thing I tell my kid all the time is hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
So over the summer, we had this baby. My daughter, I want you to imagine how bad you think it could be to introduce an only child into their new sibling. And then I want you to times that by 50, and that's how it went. But here's what I know. At that time, she was mad and she was angry and she was saying a lot of stuff because she was so fucking hurt.
Yeah.
She was scared. She was overwhelmed. She's the only person in the family whose role changed. I was still mom. He was still dad. She was baby. She went from being only to big sister.
She had no control over it.
And she had no control of it. And she didn't, you can't prepare for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think siblings can get a form of postpartum. And that's what her experience was. Thank God we are now out of that. And she loves this baby and she's the best big sister ever. But she was hurting so badly and she wanted other people to hurt too.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? She was hurting and we were all happy and that hurt her. And so you're right. So hurt people, that it is how it is.
And both things can be true. That hurt people and they hurt you.
Right. How do I set my 3-year-old up to have confidence as an adult?
I'm going to leave you with that one.
Praise effort, not just outcome, right? So something we'll do is our kids will be putting their shoes on. Mom, look at my shoes. And they're on 2 wrong feet. And so the first thing we say is, oh my gosh, it's great. They're on the wrong feet. Let them wear the shoes on the wrong feet. Praise the effort. Oh my gosh, this is so good. How do they feel? Do they feel like they're on the right feet? You know what I mean? Let them come to that. Praise the effort, not the outcome. Because that's what we really need, right? Like, our kid shouldn't be doing it perfectly the first try. We shouldn't expect that from kids. We have to build confident kids. And most kids put in a lot of effort. They're excited to do stuff. They want to put the shirt on. But if they put their shirt on, the first thing you say is, you silly, that shirt's on backwards. That's all they hear.
Right.
Not, oh my God, you put your shirt on, looks great. Let him just wear the fucking shirt backwards. Who cares?
Right.
Doesn't matter. And then the next time you can say, oh, I just learned this new trick. If you look at the little tag, that's supposed to go on the back of your neck. Did you know that? But you don't ever say it then in that moment.
Let me tell you something. I like as an adult for people to praise the effort, not the outcome. Like, praise my effort. I don't really need the outcome. It's like when I make it to a workout class.
Yeah.
And they're like, you made it here.
That is so nice, right?
I feel like $1 million.
$1 million.
And like they're all at the end, they're always like, oh, pick one thing you're proud of yourself for. And in my mind, it's always the fact that I came.
The fact that I came.
It's the only thing I need. I set the bar low for myself.
And listen, never forget that modeling is a huge part of parenthood.
Yeah.
If your child hears you talk negatively about yourself, your body, and it's something small like, oh God, I'm such an idiot, I forgot to pack the snacks. That's what your child hears.
Yeah.
And you see it time and time again, especially if you're a woman. Please stop talking about your body in front of your children.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot hit this home enough. I understand. I'll have people say to me, well, I don't talk about their bodies. I don't give a fuck. Don't talk about bodies, period.
Yeah.
So don't talk negatively about your bodies, about yourself, about other people. We're modeling all of that. Kids are goddamn sponges. They're incredible. They will pick up on everything. So how are you presenting in front of your child? And that also involves self-compassion. You will make mistakes. Oh my gosh, mom forgot the snacks today. I guess we'll have to stop at this store real quick, or we won't be able to be in the outing as long, so we can go back and have a snack, right? Like all these things. Model self-compassion. It's going to lead to more of a growth mindset.
Beautiful. Dealer's choice. We don't have a ton of time.
Okay. What are some real ways to become more confident and have less self-doubt? Here's a really good one.
Yeah.
I like the phrase, do dangerous things carefully. Right? So if I, let's say I want to try a new class, but I'm very nervous to do it. Okay, so what would be a way to do something dangerous, like trying something new, carefully? Okay, so I'm going to go to the new class. I'm going to know if I need to leave. Here are the things I do, right? You give yourself a plan if you need. I'm going to show up and do the best that I can. I don't need to be the number one person in this workout class. I don't need to be the person who sits in front of the class and asks a million questions. Whatever it is, do dangerous things carefully. Once again, mastery will build self-esteem. If I want to learn to bake something new, maybe I don't promise to bring it to the White House that day. I'm going to just make it for me and my partner. I'm sure the White House does not accept food, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like if you have these like, do not make it that is like this important of a thing to get perfectly, that is not going to end up well. Confidence grows by doing and not waiting. Action precedes beliefs. You have to have action. That is how we live life. That's how you build confidence, by doing.
Yeah.
It's not standing, I'm sorry, but it's not standing in the mirror saying you're so pretty. That feels weird to me. I don't think it works.
Right, like affirmations.
Yeah. I mean,
saying affirmations in the mirror.
I think affirmations can work on the way to action, right?
Yeah.
So if I get to the gym and get to the new class, I'm going to sit in the car and I'm going to say, you can show up and you can do this and you can last 45 minutes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That is not the same as me waking up, saying to my mirror, and then going nowhere. So the affirmation.
You just stay in the mirror all day.
The only thing I do is say positive affirmations in the mirror.
You know what?
But I mean, also, if you say to your kid, oh, you're beautiful and you're great, and then you criticize them on everything they do wrong, guess which one they're hearing? Only the criticism.
Right.
Kids want action. They don't give a shit about words.
I'm thinking about when I go skiing, which is like, I know. I'm going somewhere.
When I go skiing, yes, continue.
The whole time in my head, do you know what I'm saying to myself?
Don't die.
I'm going to die.
That, I don't know if it's going to help you.
So that's what it's making me think of. So like I'm so conscious of the fact that the entire time I'm saying to myself, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. This is me going back and forth thinking I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, okay, you got this. I have to like change the way that I'm saying things to myself. Yeah. Like, you got this. You're okay. You're not dead. You're going to keep going. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Like just being really aware of the way in which you talk to yourself, I think is really important.
Yeah.
Because your automatic thought might be, I'm going to die. You're not going to get through this.
Yeah.
And if you're not aware of it, you can so easily be saying those things to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It might be coming so naturally to you. And so I think because it's coming so naturally, we often believe it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to get through this. I'm not going to be able to do this. But for you to be able to be aware of the things that you are saying to yourself so that you can make changes in that moment. When I'm skiing and I think I'm going to die, I actively am saying to myself, okay, you're okay. You're okay. You can do this. Like, you've gotten through this before. I'm like saying those things in my head.
Yeah.
So the awareness of the automatic thoughts that are coming in that are, really pushing you down, telling you that you're not going to be able to get through something, for you to be aware of them so that you can change them in the moment is really important.
I love this one. How to build self-trust and not let other people's opinion get in your way. So listen, Brene Brown has a saying about this, which is only let people in your arena. Wait, what'd she say? Hold on. Oh, only take opinions from people in the arena with you. Right? So you are in my arena. We own a company together.
Right.
If you say to me, hey, I think we should work on A, B, and C, how we call people on the phone or whatever, you're in my arena, I can take your opinion. That matters. If someone else who has nothing to do with our company says, hey, have you guys thought about this? That's not an opinion I need to take. From my husband in our family arena, I could take his opinion and I can have an opinion. Anyone else's, not so good.
Yeah.
Not so helpful. Sometimes it can be, but you don't have to take it.
You know what I think people get stuck on too is they see these like reels on Instagram
Oh, don't even.
of
Yeah.
people saying, this is how you should do something in order to be successful, or this is what you should do.
There's no fucking nuance.
There's no nuance. And the reason why those reels are going viral is because they're saying them so definitively.
Here's the solution.
Right.
Here's how you'll be rich.
Like I could get on Instagram and have a reel of someone who says like, do this in your business and you're going to be successful and you're going to be this. Like
We have fallen for that before.
Well, and that's why I'm saying it. I'm trying to protect you. Okay. That is what I'm saying is that over time we have realized that we have to build trust within ourselves, that we know what we're doing in our business. We have built that trust over time. We fell for that when we didn't trust ourselves.
Yes.
And the way in which we learned to trust ourselves was to do something that wasn't actually right for us and realize it wasn't right and realize we should have listened to our gut and we should have done the thing that felt right for us instead.
Wow. We took a lot of bad advice at the beginning.
We did because we didn't trust ourselves. And I think that's another piece too, right? Is like you can have confidence in yourself in one area, something you've been doing for a long time, and then you start a whole new area of your life, whether it's building a business, becoming a mom, whatever it is, and you have to rebuild that trust and rebuild confidence.
Yeah.
Almost like having your second baby. How much more confident do you feel as a mom now than you did when you had your first baby?
1,000,000 times because I know I'm going to fuck her up in some way or another.
She's built trust
And
that
also,
she's going to fuck her up.
Well, I think there's this other part about I think that the advice currently given to moms is so much responsibility on moms and completely takes away from nature. It makes it all nurture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do this and your child won't have trauma. Yes, the baby will.
Yeah.
Right? I want to talk about this one. I think it's important to talk about. Can you speak on dating with herpes and how to still feel worthy of love? 1 in 6 adults in the U.S. have herpes. You're not alone. Worth has nothing to do with diagnosis. But confidence is going to come from disclosing with clarity and not shame.
Yeah.
If you disclose to your partner and you're incredibly shameful about it, the interaction might not go the way you want it to. But disclosing with shame. Hey, here's the thing I have. I'm totally transparent with about it. I'm super excited for our sex life, but my job is to be honest with you. Do you have anything you want to tell me? Boom. Right? It's just information. It's a medical thing. There's no shame around it. 1 in 6 fucking people. It's like, especially in our generation, if you don't have HPV, what were you doing?
And it's a skin disease.
Yes.
Like, it's really just the social stigma.
Yeah.
And when you educate people, you educate yourself, you educate your partners too, who don't understand it, right? It breaks down the social stigma. So I think the first, for you to also break down the social stigma for yourself, it's just a skin disease.
Yeah.
Like eczema.
Yes, just like eczema, right?
Exactly.
We have to do a Dear Em and Jen.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let me read it.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Dear Em and Jen, what are your thoughts on people just being employee material and not a boss babe? My husband is a business owner and I try to keep up, but at the end of the day, I wonder if we are just built different. I feel like a failure because I don't have the drive to do more or start a business or be my own boss. Like, I'm okay with just being a good employee.
Yeah, it sounds like a much happier life.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that.
Just from personal experience.
Owning a business blows.
I love this question because there is so much talk around,
oh my God,
be a boss babe, own a business, start this. And the talk around that does not include how much stress and weight and responsibility goes into owning a business.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with your business not being the most important thing in your life, right? Like, so when you own a business, it's going to become a massive part of your life. Work is allowed to just be a paycheck.
Right.
And sometimes when you're an employee, you're just like, I'm a W-2 employee. Then, like, I get all this other life and boundaries, and it works out. I think it is the idea of the boss babe, I think was meant to be inspiring and sort of became shameful.
Yeah.
right? If you don't work for yourself, if you don't own a business. I mean, I'd like to be an employee. Do you want to hire me?
Sometimes for fun. I look up jobs.
And what have you found?
I found some things.
Will anyone take us? We only come together, though. It's a package.
I know. We'll be like in Step Brothers. You know, in Step Brothers where they stand behind each other. They're like both dressed in suits. I would also like to both wear tuxedos.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll be like,
100%.
hello,
Yes.
Miss Lady.
Hello, Miss Lady.
Okay, so I'll look for jobs for the both of us.
So so the question was, I don't know.
Here's
what are your thoughts of just being employee material, not a boss? I think it's
totally
great.
okay.
I think it's great. Tell your partner that, though. Stop. But the thing is this. Your partner keeps making these little comments. Say to them, please stop. I don't want that. We got one business. Also, 2 business owners in the household. So that's a lot.
Oh, ridiculous.
We got one amazing business owner in the household. Let's stick with that.
Stop comparing yourself. Stop shaming yourself. You seem to, from how you explained this, you know yourself.
Yeah.
And the fact that you know yourself is really important here. For you to know that is not the life I want. And if you live with a business owner, you probably have a really good picture into what it's like to own a business. Nikki her husband owns a business and she watches us and she's like,
It's horrible.
you know, now seeing you guys, like, there is no way in hell I would ever want to own a business. So I think you also have a window into what it's like to own a business in a way that maybe other people don't. And so don't shame yourself and know yourself and understand that it's absolutely okay.
I really thought you were going to say, because if you can know yourself, you could grow yourself, and then you could just add that tagline in.
I know. I was trying to not be like all cliche.